You see that they are released at once, Mr. Fletcher. The garden will be off limits, however, until the entrance to the drains are sealed.
You're making a big mistake, Mrs. Davidson. Wentworth's already under the threat of a royal commission. I'd suggest you don't make things worse.
According to you, Mr. Gillespie, I seem to be making quite a few mistakes, so I doubt whether one more will matter. But I will not continue to punish the entire prison because of the actions of a few.
What you looking for? You weren't thinking of eating and running, were you? Miss Bryant?
How long have you known who I am?
I saw your picture in the paper this morning.
Oh, really? Well, if you knew who I was when you picked me up, you're harboring, you know that? And if I get caught, then you'll be charged.
Not many people come out this way. There's no risk to either.
Oh, no risk to you, you mean? You'll be off to the cops the first chance you get.
If the boys in blue want you, they can do their own foot slogging. I'm not going to help them.
Yeah, well, if that's true, then why are you holding me here?
Nobody's holding you here, Jude. If you ask me, though, you've got Buckleys if you go on the run.
Well, what else am I going to do?
You're welcome to stay here as long as you like.
How do I know I can trust you?
I've got no time for society or its laws. But you've got to take my word for that. Now, what's it going to be? Staying or going?
Well, you know, won't be for long or anything, just till the heat's off.
That's settled then. Smoke?
Is that grass?
Homegrown. Best there is.
Yeah, well, I'm not into drugs.
I thought you were sentenced for peddling.
That was a mistake.
It's interesting. Feel like talking about it?
Got a couple of hours.
All the time in the world.
Well, sort of a love story.
Not bad, is it?
What?
Being here. We were lucky to be alive.
Yeah, we're real lucky we made it, all right. When Bee chucked that mental in the tunnel, well, that was worse than being on our own in the dark.
Good morning, ladies.
Hi, morning, Mr. Fletcher.
Come on, Lizzie, up you get. According to the doctor, you're fully recovered now.
That quack! He wouldn't know what day it was. I've still got me palpitations. As a matter of fact, they're coming on now.
Come on, you stop that nonsense. You're going back to the laundry.
What about me, Mr. Fletcher?
How's the leg?
Oh, it's better, honest. Look.
You're still limping, Doreen.
Yeah, I know, but just a bit, and I can get around on it all right.
All right, you can go back with Lizzie, but you've got to rest that leg as much as possible.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Now, you can be all right, Lizzie, because if you're going to have another turn...
I had to say that. I thought I'd like to stay here a bit longer. I was getting used to having breakfast in bed.
Be good to be back with the others, Bud.
There's been another attempt to ship a consignment of horses to Japan.
Maybe there is no news about old
unless the
G.
government reconsidered.
Remember, Burns, rest that leg as much as possible.
Yes.
A spokesman from the RSPCA
Are you two all right?
said that after...
No, we're just cracking hardy. We wanted to be back with our mates, didn't we, Dor?
Sure did, Lizzie.
Yeah, but you're still limping.
I'm okay, honest.
The hunt for Wentworth escapee Judith Bryant continues. A police spokesman said there had been a number of sightings. One report came from a woman who claimed she saw Bryant in Port Augusta, South Australia.
Oh, she must
In
be
Broken
moving
Hill, a man
fast.
stated he had seen Bryant in the supermarket.
Oh, we should give the
Police
cops
are
a bit of
investigating
exercise,
both claims and are certain that Bryant will be recaptured within the next few days. And now, after this break, we'll be back with our sports coverage.
Think that's advisable, Mr. Fletcher?
What?
Giving the pigs a run for their money, all right?
Yeah, they're chasing her all over Australia. They must be whistling in the dark. They can't even have a lead.
Good on you, Jude.
Hey.
They're getting cocky, thinking one of their mates has got the better of the police. Won't be long before another one goes over the wall. I suggest that all television be banned until Bryant's recaptured.
You'll be stirring up trouble if you deny the women viewing privileges.
Mr. Fletcher, the television goes.
As Mrs. Davidson is my superior and I've had no order from her, the television stays.
Even if I banned all media, the women still have a grapevine, you know.
Then you refuse to implement my suggestion.
Not entirely. By taking away radio and television, I would be depriving the women of normal recreation privileges. However, it would seem reasonable to censor any newspaper information about Bryant. Surely that is a satisfactory compromise?
Yes, it's the usual soft option.
I shall inform the staff. In the meantime, if there is nothing else...
Ah, home, sweet home.
Yeah.
Now, you just pop your legs up. I'll tuck you into bed. And then I'll make some coffee, eh? Yeah. Just like one of them war films, really.
What is?
Us being back here. You know, the heroes go through all these adventures and they get stuck in an underground tunnel. And just as they've got their last gasp, they're rescued by the commandos.
It wasn't anything like that, Lizzie, and I wish to God you'd stop talking about it because it's given me the creeps.
Snatched from the jaws of death. Oh, bloody coffee. We ought to be having champers.
And just what have we got to celebrate?
Well, we're alive, aren't we?
Irene isn't.
Don't be.
Oh, don't be. That's right. Go on, bury your head in the sand. That whole bloody stunt went for nothing. Irene's dead and we gained sweet Fanny Adams.
Oh, it's all my fault. If I hadn't rushed off like a bat
I wasn't blaming you. Griffin bitch hadn't interfered. Oh, and guess what I've heard? Griffin's being transferred to the loony bin. And I didn't even get a crack at her.
Oh, don't be. The poor little bugger should have been there in the first place. And we got a lot to be thankful for.
Such as?
Well, we're still alive, aren't we?
With Gillespie here, we might as well be dead.
Morning, Mrs. M. How's married life?
Get a move on, Lizzie.
Oh, what's got into her?
Come along, Bee. You can't stay here unless you're sick.
I'm sick of this place. And Gillespie. How long is he going to stay here?
As long as the department sees fit.
Forever?
I can't answer that. Now, will you get up?
Locked doors, guns. The girls aren't going to take it much longer, you know.
He'll break you before you break him. Now, you be careful.
You don't like that pig either, do you?
My feelings have got nothing to do with it.
I thought so. If you thought he was such a great guy, you wouldn't be standing here listening to me abuse him.
Mr. Gillespie is in charge of security. Now, as far as you're concerned, Mrs. Davidson is the final authority at Wentworth.
Then why doesn't she show some muscle then? I mean Judy's letter. If she wanted to stir something up, she could show that to the authorities.
The note has been passed on to the department.
Oh, yes, we all know what that means, don't we?
Morning, Mr. Gillespie.
Is it? What are you doing?
Censoring the outgoing mail.
These newspapers been censored?
Censored?
Yes, you know, little bits cut out.
No, sir.
Well, on page 3 of the Clarion and page 5 of the Verity, there are reports of Bryant's escape. Would you see that both stories are removed?
Mrs. Davidson hasn't said anything about it.
Then she's remiss in her duties. It was decided last night.
As I said, I hadn't heard.
You're quite at liberty to confirm it with the governor if you think I'm lying.
Of course not. There are rules about censorship. I don't see why they can't always be enforced.
My sentiments exactly.
Might I suggest the curtailing of the radio and television broadcast as well? There's sure to be a mention of Bryant and
Just the newspapers.
In my opinion,
Stick to the orders you're given. You haven't time for opinions. Just make sure you remove any relevant information. And remember, if anything gets past you, you're being assessed as well as the prison in general.
Crying out loud, what are you sneaking around for?
Sorry, didn't realize you were asleep. If you read between the lines, you'll realize our precious police force haven't got a clue where you are. What's that?
Well, Well, I left a note in my cell saying why I escaped.
About the security bloke.
Yeah, I thought they would have found it by now and given it to the authorities, but no, there's no mention of it in there.